Meghan and Harry's mortifying U-turn exposed. Christmas has not come early for the Sussexes. They have dramatically reversed their position according to a new report, leaving King Charles to make a savage decision. Hello everyone, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have decided what they want for Christmas this year. And no, it's not a year's supply of vegan latte mix, and it's definitely not Williams cojones delivered to Harry on a silver platter, and it's also not guaranteed funding for their new charity that hosts dream workshops for homeless people. Instead, reportedly, they have decided that they want to spend Christmas with all the royal family at Norfolk Monstrosity and Festive Season Headquarters, Sandringham. Oh, just picture the scene. A nice big drawing room, some lovely old furniture, and a whole lot of tension. The champagne is flowing, the dogs are there, and Queen Camilla is wondering if it's too late to fake a sickness so that she can get out of the whole thing. And then Meghan and Harry enter, beaming positive light and forgiveness to a bunch of people with very long memories, and who still have the keys to the tower for what it's worth. The report that Harry and Meghan are wanting to come back to the UK comes from a blinder of a new report from the Times royal editor Roy Anika. She has revealed that Meghan and Harry, almost 4 years after cutting the Buckingham Palace cord, want back in, at least for a little while. For his part, the king remains skeptical of Meghan and Harry's about-face. A friend of Meghan and Harry's told The Times, "I can't imagine the Sussexes would decline an invitation to spend time with His Majesty. As of yet, there have not been any invitations for the holidays." And Nika reports, friends of the Sussexes say they want to change the state of play and would readily accept an invitation to Christmas at Sandringham, the King's Norfolk home, or a summer stay at Balmoral, Scotland, where members of the royal family come and go in privacy and can easily avoid each other. Oh, they would readily accept an invitation, would they? What on earth is happening here? Next thing we know, Meghan's going to be readily suggesting that she and Catherine should go on a mom's trip. We'll hear that she's planned a nice little getaway for her and Catherine at the Soho farmhouse. So after all that, Meghan and Harry are wanting to spend Christmas ensconced in the very bosom of the royal family. That would be like having to reverse your way down Everest because you changed your mind about summiting. Because let's remember, it was just in January of this year that Harry sat down with all those TV journalists to try to sell his memoir Spare and portray the House of Windsor as biased and racist and uncaring, and united in their thirst for good press no matter the personal cost to their family members. When discussing the subject of a possible reconciliation, Harry said that the door is always open, but the ball is in their court. He told Good Morning America, "There's a lot that I can forgive, but there needs to be conversations in order for reconciliation, and part of that has to be accountability." Back then, Harry seemed to think that he was holding all the cards. He wanted, according to what he told the Telegraph about the royal family, to try to save them from themselves. Oh, how nice of Harry. He also demanded they issue an apology to Meghan. He said, "You know what you did, and I now know why you did it, and you've been caught out, so just come clean." We at least have to give Harry some credit for the drama. My goodness. He was like a 15-year-old boy who just hit puberty. Spoiler alert, though. None of it really panned out. There hasn't been any kind of Palace Truth and Reconciliation Commission. There haven't been any special moments, no emotional family meetings held via Zoom, and Oprah hasn't moderated any of it. In fact, Buckingham Palace's response to Spare was absolutely nothing. They ignored it altogether. Now, certain bits about how offended the family was and how hurt they were, of course, that ended up in the press, but there was nothing official. All that talk of Harry's about accountability and an apology got him exactly nowhere. And here we are today. Meghan and Harry are now reportedly wanting to have a traditional Christmas, gathered around a beautiful Christmas tree and trading presents with Queen Camilla. The cognitive dissonance here is amazing. Why have Harry and Meghan reportedly decided that they want to spend Christmas in Old Blighty? Is this not the family that Meghan and Harry accused of unconscious bias and racism, of ignoring Meghan's mental health crisis, of feeding negative stories about Meghan and Harry to the press so that they would make themselves look better? If we take all the allegations from Meghan and Harry at face value, then why on earth would they even want to visit these people? If Harry's family really is so horrible, then why would they want to fly 10 hours at no small expense and supposedly with 2 small children to go visit them? There are many whys, and there are really no answers to these whys. There's also the fact that according to Nika, His Majesty has turned down Harry and Meghan and their sudden yearning for a royal Christmas, and the reason is trust. Specifically, trust that whatever Anne may say after her third brandy is not going to suddenly end up on Good Morning America or in Harry or Meghan's next book. Nika writes, after so many royal secrets have been split by the Sussexes' commercial ventures, the royal family continues to struggle with how any future reconciliation could remain private. That anxiety is only heightened at the thought of how much private information could be stored and later unleashed from a Christmas at Sandringham or summer sojourn at Balmoral. And apparently the important issue here is this leaking. Now, Harry has accused the firm of leaking negative stories about himself and Meghan to Fleet Street. They, of course, deny it. And Harry wrote a book that minded decades of personal royal family details, and then kept showing up on the television to sell this book. So again, why would Harry and Meghan, based on the criticisms they have leveled at the royal family time and time again, even want to go back? Why would they even want to put themselves in that environment if there's a chance that courtiers are going to start leaking information to the press? At first glance, this Sussex Christmas situation doesn't seem to make a bit of sense. It's important to remember, though, why they're wanting to go back for Christmas. It's not because they miss the family. It's because their careers are failing in America and they are desperate for some of that royal fairy dust. I don't believe for a second that Harry and Meghan just want their children to get to know their grandpa. First of all, you know me, I don't even believe they have children. Now, Archie and Lilibet, if they're real, haven't spent any time in the UK. And Lilibet has only ever met her British grandfather once, supposedly, but we're not even sure that one meeting happened. There is one thing we know for sure, those children have never spent a Christmas in the UK. I find it very hard to believe that Meghan and Harry want to come back because they just want some precious memories and special family moments, and that they're never going to end up streaming that stuff on Netflix. Or maybe Meghan and Harry are struggling to find their place in Hollywood, and maybe that is a big part of this. A recognition that without the luster of royalty, they're just a couple of nobodies. Their talents and producing track record don't really match up to the amazing sums they are being paid. Now, as for Harry, I can believe that he misses spending Christmas with his family. After all, he once said that the royals do Christmas like no other family. But at the same time, I find it very hard to believe that that's really why they're trying to come back. And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share with anybody else who would enjoy it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.